Hello, boys. It's Gramps again. Well, because we had a request yesterday, Gramps is going to read Big Anthony by Tommy DePaulo. Now, Tommy DePaulo is one of Gramps' favorite authors. I even saw him in person and he signed a book that Grandpa had years ago. He's a children's author and he also writes a lot of other books about a lot of things. One of his favorite topics are Stregonona and Big Anthony. And this is the story of Big Anthony. Now remember, sometimes the grandpa talks a little bit Italian, sometimes the grandpa does not. Be ready. Are you ready, boys? Say go, Grandpa. Oh, I heard it. Here we go. Big Anthony, his story by Tommy DePaulo. It was a beautiful sunny day on a farm in the northern hills of the country we now know as Italy. Everything was set for a big feast. The whole family was gathered at the door of the farmhouse. "Here comes the bambino," Zia Rosetta, the aunt, called out. The godparents, carrying a fine baby boy, walked out, followed by a beaming mama and a proud papa. "Out to the church, El Padrino," the godfather announced. "This will be their happiest of days. This is the firstborn, and he will do a great of things." "After all," said Nonno Emilio, the grandfather, "children are our future." Everyone crowded into the church for the christening. The godparents held the baby as everyone gathered around. The baby was fast asleep. Mama whispered softly, "Wake up, my son, and listen to Padre Marcello." The priest started to pour the holy water as he declared, "Henceforth you shall be known as Anthony." Just then baby Anthony, who was still asleep, threw up his arm, spilling the holy water all over himself and everyone else. "Oh, look, baby Anthony didn't even cry or wake up when he got all wet," Zia Rosetta whispered to Nana Grazella, his grandmother. "What the good bambino?" Nana Grazella said as she watched everyone drying off. "I don't know." On little Anthony's first birthday, there was a feast of all feasts. In the shade of the olive tree, the family and friends sat at tables piled high with food. On a separate table was his birthday cake. Papa stood to give a birthday greeting. "Sit quietly, my son, and listen to Papa," Mama whispered to little Anthony. Papa began to make a speech. It was a long speech. "And now," Papa said, "Feliz Compleanno, happy birthday to my little son." But little Anthony was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly there was a loud crash. Everyone looked around and there was little Anthony covered in cake. Nana Grazella said, "A little Anthony may be in a little bit of trouble." Little Anthony began to grow. "He's going to be a bigger boy," Nana Emilio said. "He takes after my side of the family." Soon it was time for little Anthony to learn to drink out of a cup. Nana Grazella was going to teach him. "Hold your cup in both hands." Anthony did. "Lift up," and Anthony did. "Now a drink." Just then a bird sang. "He doesn't pay attention," Nana Grazella said. "That's the trouble. He spilled it all over him." And Nana Grazella was right. Every year, little Anthony grew taller. Soon he was big enough to help on the farm. "Here's a basket, Anthony. Go in the garden and pick the lettuce, the way I showed you. Then bring it to me in the kitchen," Mama told him. "See, Mama," Anthony said, and Anthony did. He started picking. Then, while he was not looking, the cow ate some lettuce. He was a-watching the bees and the flowers. "Oh, Anthony!" Mama cried. Now Anthony was old enough to go to school. Anthony loved school, but the teacher kept on saying, "Attenzione, per favor." Please pay attention. Because Anthony was the tallest boy in class, the teacher asked him to stay after school one day and help tidy up the schoolroom. "Anthony, would you please put all those books up on the shelf? We'll put the other things away when I come back. Are you paying attention, Anthony?" "Ah, si, Professor." Up on the shelf. So Anthony did. As Anthony grew and he went taller and taller, he put everything on the shelf, not just the books. Oh, the teacher was very mad. As Anthony grew taller and taller, he was needed on the farm. "Anthony," Nana Grisella said, "take the lunches down to the field where the men are haying." And Anthony, Nona Grisella added, "Be sure to find a shady spot to put them so they don't get hot in the sun." "See, Nona." Anthony looked around. There were no trees in the field. "I don't know," he said to himself. "I'll put the lunches under the haystack. They'll stay nice and cold there, and I'll just take a nap until it's time to go." "Anthony!" Nana Emil called. "Wake up! Where is the food? We're hungry." Anthony smiled a big smile. "I did just what Nana Grisella said. I put the lunches where they would stay nice and cool. I put them under the haystack. I'll go get them." While he was sleeping, the other workers made hundreds of haystacks. Which one's the right one? Anthony got in trouble again. Now Anthony was the tallest one of his whole family. "It's from my side," Noma Emilio said. Everyone began to call him Big Anthony. "Big Anthony," Mama said one day, "go find your papa. The pasta is ready." "See, Mama," Big Anthony said and rushed out. "And Anthony, don't leave any of the gates open. Did you hear me?" "See, Mama, gates open." And Big Anthony did. Instead of closing the gates, he left them open and the sheep got out. They ran all over. He left every single gate open. "Well, that's it," Papa said. "It's a time for Big Anthony to go out into the world and earn his fortune. Before he ruins ours," Nona Grisella said. "Arrivederci, Big Anthony. Buona fortuna. Good luck," the family called as Big Anthony set out on his journey. Down the highways and byways, Big Anthony strode south, whistling a happy tune. The whole world was ahead of him. How excited he was. He walked and walked until the sun set. He arrived at a town called Pisa. It was too dark to go any further, so Anthony found a wall to sit against. He opened the sack and ate a supper. Before he knew it, he was fast asleep. The birds woke him at dawn. He stood up and stretched and opened his eyes. What he saw shocked him. It was a building. It's really called the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it's famous. People go there, even today. "I must have leaned too hard against the wall," he said to himself, "but I can't fix it." He rushed away before anyone was awake. Off he went down the road after fixing the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The people were not happy. Everyone came to the Leaning Tower of Pisa because it leaned, and now it did not. Soon he came to a place called Firenze. Firenze was filled with art. So Big Anthony got a job with an artist. "Now, Anthony, the first thing I want you to do is to make the paints. See those colored powders? Mix each one with water, and you then put them in jars. Do you understand?" "Si, maestro," Anthony said. "Let's see," Big Anthony said to himself after the artist had left. I'll have to mix all these colors with water and put them in jars. So Big Anthony did. He put them all together in jars and in the water. "Oh, you've ruined my paints," the artist shouted. "You're fired." So Big Anthony traveled on until he reached Roma. Big Anthony had never seen such beautiful buildings and so many churches. Soon he came to a tall bridge that crossed the river that ran through the middle of the city. "2 coins, please," the man at the bridge told him. "I have no money," Big Anthony said, "but I'm here to get a job. If you let me cross, I'll promise to come back and pay you later." "Well, you're in luck. I need a helper. Would you like the job?" The man said. "Si, signore," answered Big Anthony, looking around. "You must collect a toll of 2 coins," the man said, "but not from the cardinal, who is the priest. Are you paying attention?" "Oh, si, signor," Big Anthony said, "from the cardinal." Uh-oh. All day, Big Anthony let everyone go across the bridge for free. Then up the bridge came a long line of altar boys and priests, followed by the cardinal. Big Anthony let everyone cross without paying, but when the cardinal came up, Big Anthony shouted, "Halt! 2 coins to cross, but I am the cardinal." "Sorry, Cardinal, but you must pay. Everyone else can cross for free, but you must pay. My boss said so." So Big Anthony left Rome after the boss was very mad at him and headed south until he arrived at Napoli. Luck was with him. No sooner had he walked in the city than Big Anthony got a job as a waiter. "Be sure to pay attention to the order so you give the right food to the right customer," the owner of the restaurant told him. Big Anthony didn't pay attention. "I didn't order the eels. I hate eels. Where's my pizza? Waiter, waiter, you gave me zuppa soup. I ordered pasta." "Out, out," the owner shouted. Just as Big Anthony left the restaurant, Mount Vesuvius, the volcano, erupted. "Well," Big Anthony said, "at least that's not my fault." Big Anthony headed south again until he came to the part of the country called Calabria. He walked down a hill and came to a little village. There in the town square was a sign. Someone needed a helper, someone who lived in a little house up the hill. Big Anthony climbed the hill to the little house and knocked on the door. The rest is history. Whose house is he at, boys? Yep, it's Stregonona. You guys have a good night. Love you. Bye-bye.